Welcome to Feral Friday Podcast, Unhinged and Unbothered, a podcast where we talk about smut, monsters, fanfic, and everything in between. Listener discretion is advised. Please see the episode description for additional details. Cal's hold on Charlie's hips was firm, keeping her mate right where she needed her. Your pussy. Fuck. She moved her hips with growing desperation. The Rut's own grip started to grab hold of Cal. She increased the pace, making them both moan and grunt. You feel incredible. Charlie responded with a needy sound, melting under the praise. She splayed her arms across the desk and demanded more. The rush of pleasure in her body had doubled. Charlie trembled and cried out when Cal hammered into her. The roughness caused her loose pants to fall to her ankles. Moving a hand to Charlie's mid-back, Cal plunged in and out of her mate. She grunted and growled like an animal. I will give your pussy the fucking it deserves. Her snarl was guttural and matched her deep strokes. The filthy conversation and alpha ego left a buzz in Charlie's head. The frantic pounding caused Charlie's soaked pussy to smear across the edge of the desk. Then her clit was forced against the side. With each thrust, her throbbing little pearl rubbed up against the desk, and sweet pleasure raced up her spine. Charlie lost all control, but managed to sense Cal's knot growing at the base. Her desire to have it grew tenfold when it beat against her entrance. I am going to knot you, Cal promised, as if reading Charlie's mind. She dropped forward, hands slapping against the desk next to Charlie's head. Her hips never stopped working, but the thrust became deeper. Her knot was full size and rode against Charlie's pussy, causing her clitoris to rub harder against the desk. A little more, she urged, and rolled her hips against Charlie's ass. Charlie whined and tried to spread her legs wider, but her pants locked her ankles. She struggled to even move her pelvis due to Cal's heavy frame against her. But the sweet roll of Cal's hips kept her ready. Please, she pleaded in English. The strokes were insistent, urging the knot into Charlie's clenching pussy. Cal grunted, then pushed harder again, and then again, forcing her knot to pop in with utter relief. Charlie yelped, and then Cal gave one last thrust that buried everything in Charlie and caused her clit to hit the desk again. They both came undone, screaming and howling together. Bucking against her mate, Charlie scraped her nails across the desk and jerked when Cal squirted warm seed inside her. She gulped for air while the orgasm shook her. Above her, Cal panted and curled her back upward. Charlie moaned when another round of sperm filled her pussy. And that was Running Up That Mountain, Part 1 by Lexa Luthor.
My God. That's all I have to say.
I don't even
Kitty,
know.
I am once again begging you to just record yourself while you read these books.
For real.
The listeners aren't going to have to listen to me stumbling over all my words, but I really wish that people knew how many times I had to reread the word desk. Apparently, that's a weird word.
Well, you just had girl dick on the mind.
I guess.
I'm stunned into. I gotta read this book.
Yeah, it's on the TBR.
I'm just
They're
like
so good. They're so good. I love them. Just, there we are.
That's just astonishing. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just
But no,
it's a lot.
I don't want to read them. I want Kitty to read them to me.
Yes.
You want read aloud time with Kitty?
Audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Just send us a 3-minute snippet every night, Kitty.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Do you know how
It'll
long
be
that
like
would
Dracula, except slut.
take? It will be.
Wait, I
Instead of
stand behind
Dracula
that.
Daily, it'll be Girl Dick Daily. And
Please.
I love that.
I'm begging you.
Oh my gosh, what did you say, Marie? I missed whatever you said.
No, I said I would love that, actually.
Oh, you would love that. Oh, God.
See,
Okay.
people have spoken.
Stay tuned for read-alongs with Kitty.
Please.
It's a catchy name and everything.
Which leads us into our episode today, actually.
It does.
gosh.
It does.
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome to our season finale of season 2, Feral Friday. We made it.
Woo! We did. We really did. Yeah, Sarah too. Why don't you start us off? What have you been reading lately?
So like 2 weeks ago, I said I was gonna read this book, and then I didn't. But now I'm actually gonna read this book. It's The Woven by Gold by Elizabeth Helen, the second installment of the Beasts of the Briar series. That the first one was so good, and I was gonna jump into the second one, but then I read the Dragon one by Catherine Moon. So now I'm gonna read this one. I'm very excited, even though I know it ends on a cliffhanger, the third book at least, and the fourth book doesn't come out till September, but it's fine. It's fine. So I'm gonna jump into that later tonight, and I'm very excited. Ivy,
That sounds
what you reading? I'm very excited.
I am not reading anything smutty right now. I am rereading The Witching Year by Diana Helmeth because
A reread.
I feel like the
Ooh.
first time I read this book, I went into it with expectations that I was gonna dislike it, and then when I actually liked it, there was that like cognitive dissonance. So then I was like, I just need to go back and reread it, and just read the words, not have any sort of expectation for what it was going to be, or just trying to reset, refresh, and go back into
like
it
it.
again. So that's
That's an
I suppose-
awesome mindset to have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It was off the Curse and Cure kind
Oh.
of
I was gonna
train.
say, should we reread that with a different
No.
mindset?
We should
Please
not.
don't make me read that again.
We should not. Well,
I wouldn't make it.
I think that some people in the other Discord also had some preconceived notions of this book when also that they haven't read it, and I actually think it is worth a read because I did like it, and I'm really picky with books, so I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done with it. I've demolished it in like less than a day. Sarah,
man.
how are you? What are you reading right now?
Oh, I am back reading another lovely book by Trish Heinrich, who's quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. So I'm reading Sinner. It was meant to be an arc, but there were some timing issues, so it's actually out now. But it is a orc and human pairing.
All right.
Yeah, so Berserker orc. I forget some of the tropes, but they're, it's monster smut. So I'm
Wait, what does Berserker Orc mean?
like he goes crazy, like touch her and die,
okay.
gonna protect her with his life. Yeah, I guess he goes nuts.
Oh.
So
Wow. Okay.
like he's like a trained like assassin, like mercenary kind of guy. Like there's like shady governments and like there's a hit out on their lives kind of thing. So
Wow.
she has been, from what I'm understanding, there was like some occult type situation happening, and people with people who were not doing good things essentially were doing tests on her body and somehow started to attach part of the Morrigan to her soul.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but she doesn't like have control of it, but she has her own like special magic powers, and like so there's this whole, I'm very early in the book, so I don't know any more than that, but it's quite interesting. Yeah,
That sounds really interesting.
So I'm looking forward to finishing that. But Kitty, what are you reading?
Well, I am once again reading Running Up That Mountain, The Alpha God, Book 8 by Lexa Luthor. But I actually have to report that I actually did some reading this week, like
All
2
right.
different times.
Wow.
Yeah, I sat down to read. Thank you. I did change my antidepressant, and I think that's made a big difference. So we
Ah.
love medicine here, and
Mm-hmm.
understand all the plights of all of the peoples out there that struggle with mental health. So, you are seen, you are loved. All of that.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how much you read, you
Yep.
are worthy. There's my soapbox. But I do still love this book. It's still amazing. It still has me like just in a chokehold, and I'm very excited to actually.
So
be
how
back.
far are you? Are you like 50
I'm
or like
now-
75?
I got to 70%. I had been stuck at
Okay.
like 46 or something. Like that was where I just lost all ability to read. Like there wasn't anything wrong with the story. My brain could not
Yeah.
handle the reading. So now we're back at it, and we're like at 70%. And
Hell
I'm so
yeah.
Nice.
excited.
Which is like that
Yeah.
final stretch. Yeah. Once you hit 70, it's like, all right, I'm almost
Yes.
there. Now I got to power read.
I know. So I'm very excited. Marie, what about you? What have you been reading?
I am also not reading anything smutty at the moment. I am doing a reread of Carmilla by Sheridan Fanu, which is a gothic novella about, like, I think the first gothic novella on like a female vampire as the main character and kind of like a sapphic relationship to a certain degree. I think it's like 1872 when it was initially published, so it's about 20
Wow.
years, 25 years before Bram Stoker's Dracula.
my
I
gosh.
read it initially in college for a Gothic lit class, and was talking about it the other day and decided, you know what, I kind of want to read this again. So about halfway through, maybe like 110 pages, very quick. So I should probably be done next day or so.
That's
But-
amazing.
It might not be smutty, but I feel like that still tracks with this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
vampires? Sapphic? Hello.
Yes.
Like,
There's no specific sex scenes, but the attraction is implied and the sensuality behind it is implied. And I'm
Love
enjoying
that.
reading it again. I like it.
Good.
Did you see that book that came out earlier this year by St. Gibson? I'm trying to find it. It's kind of like a Carmilla retelling a little bit, and it's like dark academia. I read it as an arc. I'm trying to find the. Oh, I
Evocation?
can't find it. No, not Evocation.
Okay,
It
I googled the wrong thing
was-
then.
They had two books come out right one after the other. I'll find it later and we'll. But I think you would really love that. It'd be right up your alley.
Because what I did read earlier this year was Dowry of Blood, but I don't think that came out
no.
this year.
So that's also by St. Gibson. So this one is called An Education in Malice.
Ooh.
And it has one sex scene. So it's also not smut, but it's like poetry cohorts, dark academia, like vampires. Very interesting.
I'm
You should definitely
looking
add
at
that
it
to your
now.
list.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is exactly what I'm going to read next. Actually, thank you very much.
You're
This is
welcome.
awesome.
You're welcome. We love being able to give recommendations real time
What
on
we
the
do.
pod. So
Okay,
yeah.
Let me write this down before I forget.
Perfect. Well,
love it.
before we move on to the meat of our episode tonight, we just we're gonna take a break after this episode for about a month. We all need some R&R for the summer and take a little breaky break, but when we come back for season 3, we have lots of exciting plans for you guys. Definitely expect more monster smut. I think we all agreed that we have been loving Monster May and kind of getting back to our roots of originally talking about monster smut. So we'll still have like Omegaverse and probably some fan fiction thrown in and things like that, but I think we're going to be definitely focusing heavily on the monsters. So
It's gonna be
expect-
great.
It's gonna be so much fun. So
Monsters and other non-human.
yes, the paranormal,
Creatures.
monsters, a little dark romance, but
Aliens.
Balloon animals, pillows.
Aliens.
Eye
Aliens,
All
watches.
the
yes.
things. Eye watches. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
The creep.
invaded by the
Ah.
eye watch. It's on my TBR.
Oh my god. Maybe
Love
more
that
clippy.
too.
Yeah, well,
Clippy.
it's the next in the series from Clippy. So
Oh god.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. We also thought it'd be fun to do things like giving you seasonal horoscopes of
Mhm.
monster smut based on the zodiac season. So look forward to that. So what monster smut should be reading based on the zodiac signs. So when we come back, it'll be like Cancer season. So we'll give you an update on that. Like what should,
My season.
yeah, great. Like
it's
what
very
kind of crab
emotional
porn
reads.
should you be reading? So yeah, we'll have lots of fun activities. Obviously, we'll still play some of our games. We'll have guest authors and things like that. But we're really excited to take a break and then come back fresh and ready to go. So our next episode will be on July 5th. So just in time to traumatize your friends and family around the barbecue with the next episode.
Hey,
but in
Aunt
the
Charlotte,
meantime,
I've got a podcast for you.
oh, yeah. You need to like break up the political talk around the barbecue. Just put on one of our episodes.
Bring us some sex.
Specifically, our
Alexa.
pilot episode, Bigfoot is a foot.
Oh
man.
god. Yes. Yes.
So, in the
Mhm.
meantime, feel free, especially if you're new around here, you can go back and listen to one of our old episodes, and we all have a suggestion for you. So I will let everybody kind of suggest one of their favorite ones, starting with Sarah too. Which one do you recommend our listeners go back and Or
So
listen.
from this season, go read this. Actually, reading the transcript sounds terrible, but don't recommend that. So I'm gonna recommend episode 15 from season 2, Loud Tomorrows and Dark Forever, which was a Mad Libs episode, and we were just so funny that we came up with our slogan, our like emo band name or like album name, whatever we want it to be, Loud Tomorrows and Dark Forever. Which I think we said that in like the last like 10 minutes of the episode, and it was like, that's it, that's the one.
That's
But we're
amazing.
just very funny in that episode, so that's the one I'm gonna recommend.
Oh, goodness. Ivy, what's your pick?
I think we're funny all the time, especially in our debut dating game episode, season 2, episode 9, Emergency Feet.
Yes. Yes. I love that episode.
I don't
So
think
much.
I have ever laughed as hard as I did that night. My abs were sore the next day. from laughing so hard.
Amazing.
Oh, I love it.
So,
I love
trying
it.
to get your summer body in check, that's the episode for you.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. All the laughs.
Kitty, what about you?
I'm going to recommend season 2, episode 3, The Supremes Blue Balls, where we talk all about Ice Planet Barbarians with the lovely guest Robin, a tired witch.
That one was fun.
It
Definitely.
was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Which to this day we still make fun of her for saying IPIB
Oh
IPIB.
God. Robin.
instead of IPB.
She now, out of spite, because she hates me, spells it IPIB. She
Oh
adds
my
an
God.
extra I just because I made fun of. Actually, I didn't even make fun of her on the pod. I brought it up later. I was like, yo, can we talk about how you say this? In what universe is this how you say this?
Oh, you know what's hilarious is now whenever I take a CBD gummy, I say CBID.
Oh my goodness.
Just
It's
talking in a
hilarious.
breeze.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. You know, it's great.
Oh, hilarious. Marie, what's your pick?
I recommend, well, everything that you guys have picked is amazing, but I do recommend going back and listening to season 2, episode 11, Knotted and Delighted, where we had a guest, which was Amelia Emerson from the Luna and Soul Omegaverse series. So that's Forbidden, Part 1, Part 2, and Cherished. Amazing books. Everybody should read that shit. Enjoy it. They are great. And it was a really fun episode.
And then listen to our episode.
Oh, that
Oh
was
my
such a good
gosh.
one. Yeah,
It
so
was.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
She was very fun.
So fun. I was almost gonna recommend that one, but I went with season 2, episode 16. Does Death Have a Butthole? And that actually also
Nice.
had Robin from A Tired Witch.
Ah,
When we
this
talked
is gonna go to
about
her head.
the four horsemen of the Apocalypse series. But I also recommend everybody go back and just listen to our first episode. Our very first episode, Bigfoot's got a huge
Bigfoot?
debut. Yes, because it's just like for nostalgia and just listening to us, because we were all a little nervous and we've just come really far, I think. And that episode's just ridiculous for like how far we've come, and also just that blowjob was just horrendous.
I'm
Never
still
go
chasing
hiking.
that high.
Still chasing that. Yes, Sarah, too. We know. You just, the more on
forever forever chasing that high of just terrible, badly written, nonsensical smut.
Sarah, did you notice?
Which
that
I
on the-
hope I hope
go,
today's
go.
live read is going to be on that level.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
hope
it's
so,
going to be
too.
on that level, but I do think it's going to be bad.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
we delighted in that.
So, yes, we'll have links to all those episodes in the show notes. We'll share them on Instagram throughout our break. But also be expecting fun Instagram stuff from us over our break, because we'll still be engaging because we have FOMO.
Yeah.
But yeah, without further ado, shall we read our terrible story?
Let's
do
get
it.
into it.
Let's do it.
Take it away.
All right. I have the pleasure of reading chapter 1. So this story, this is the longest title I've ever read. Knotted and taken by the pack, a wolf shifter, Omega, Alpha, Beta, reverse harem, werewolf, erotica short story by Blue Ember. Okay. Chapter 1. The 3 Wolfmen in my room. It's no longer news that a few daring creatures are in our midst. Nobody has a clear picture of what these beasts look like. It was rumored that they might be orcs, while some think they are minotaurs. Those are very different things. It is still unclear why pretty, young, fertile adult girls are the main target of these horrible beasts. The president made an early announcement of the security measures to be taken by the police and the need for the vulnerable groups to remain on lockdown for the time being. There's still no testament from a survivor of these attacks, and everybody is advised to be vigilant. Living alone in my mini mansion with my dog Rexy, I'm a 19-year-old fertile human and perfectly in the category of the endangered group. I woke up suddenly in the middle of the night to a strange noise from within. My heart raced in fear as I froze up suddenly on my bed. The room was dark and the velvet was swinging on its own. The velvet? Is it
Like the
windy
curtain?
outside? Yeah, is it curtain? Is it windy outside? I asked myself is it windy outside? I asked myself quietly as I rolled out of bed slowly. I walked gradually to the window screen and glanced at the dark, empty streets with a full, bright, moonlit night from the top floor. Where is this noise coming from? I asked myself quietly, again, as my heart almost crumbled in anxiety. Rexy, I called out my dog's name as the same noise erupted from the bathroom. I rushed to the bathroom door and pushed it open slowly, taking a terrifying, sly look at the inside. My lungs could no longer get enough of my breath as fear ran over my nerves.
Who's running towards the noise?
I don't know.
No.
Dumb bitches.
This is the best story we've ever read, guys. All right.
Take it away.
is that coming from? I panicked heavily, turning to the velvet on the opposite side.
Okay,
I
so
tiptoed
curtains?
quietly towards the curtain and spread
Okay,
it
yes.
open gradually. 3 well-muscled wolfmen covered in thick fur and with sharp, elongated claws on their hands growled on my face suddenly. Growled on my face. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! I yelled out and threw myself backwards in fear. Their canine-like fangs looked sharper than a blade. Wolfmen. I stumbled on a little stool behind me as I tried to run out of the room. Oh my gosh, I'm dead! I yelled in dread as I suddenly fell to the floor. The weird wolfmen sniffed their noses from afar and walked quickly towards me with their sharp cheekbones. She is a pretty one. One of the wolfmen became overjoyed, staring at my pretty face. The wolfman could be behind the sudden disappearance of so many young women in the city. This is the first time they'll be visiting me, and it's quite strange how they found their way into my room without my knowledge. They could smell me from afar and couldn't help but chase after me. Their appearance may look scary, particularly their claws and canines, but their strength and agility were fascinating. I was enthralled by their large muscles and broad shoulders, even though I was scared of their fierce looks. My heart pounded uncontrollably as they approached me with their sharp claws. They sniffed the skin around my neck, and I realized I was not only fertile, but ready to be bred.
Ovulating. Just say ovulating.
You smell great, hottie, one of the wolfmen whispered in my ear. Oh my gosh, are they gonna breed me? I asked
my
myself
God.
quietly as I glanced at their scary, predatory eyes. They disagreed on who was going to breed me at the very moment, or take me away for good. I crawled quietly away from them, unnoticed, and ran into the bathroom quickly. I breathed a little harder as I tried to vent my anxiety into the air. Bitch, if only it were
What?
that easy.
The automatic changing your voice.
Turn the fan on. My anxiety is filling it up.
Oh my god.
God, I
Putting on the
wish.
air freshener? Oh my god.
No, oh my gosh, Ivy. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. We're doing great
Wow.
so far.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I locked the bathroom door and sat on the floor all night with my eyes wide open. The images of the hot, muscular wolfman kept flashing in my mind as an alluring fantasy overtook my head. I now yearn
Fast.
to experience what it feels like to be bred by these beasts. It was still a mystery how these monsters appeared in my mansion uninvited.
Mansion.
Is this? It was a mini mansion, but now it's a full
It's
mansion.
a mini mansion, right?
Oh. Right,
Is this how they attacked their prey? This is strange, I thought. I remained in the bathroom until dawn almost loomed. The room suddenly became quiet, and I could no longer hear noises from the wolfmen. Are they gone already? I asked myself quietly. Oh, sorry, we're quiet again. As I moved to unlock the door, I stepped out of the bathroom quietly as I walked into the bedroom slowly. I couldn't believe the wolfmen were gone. No, they can't just disappear like that. I need to figure out where they are. I searched
Said
the
no one
entire
ever.
I searched the entire building carefully but couldn't find them. I guessed they left already. I must find a way to see them again. They might just be close by. I picked up my car keys and left the room hastily.
What? So she just had to hide in the bathroom. That's it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 2.
And
Taken by 3 wolfmen.
oh,
I hurried
escalating
down,
quickly.
I hurried down from the staircase, exited the building, and hopped in my car. I drove into the dark, empty street as I could hear the sound of my heart racing. The night was silent and cold, with the sound of wild owls and vultures springing into my ears.
What? Owls and vultures are not like buddies.
Maybe they are, Sarah. Maybe they are.
No.
You never know. Okay. They shouldn't have just left like that, I said to myself in a little frustration as I pulled over beside the road. I was curious to know what would have happened to me if I was bred by these beasts. This was the reason I refused to inform the cops. I stopped and stepped out of the car after a couple of minutes of driving. The moonlit night was gone, but the darkness was still lingering. I was only a few miles away from my home. I guess it's high time I hit the road back home.
What?
It's only a few
I was
miles.
on the verge.
Gotta go.
I was on the verge of hopping back into the car when a weird growling noise hit my ears suddenly from afar. I stopped abruptly and listened again attentively. What the hell is that noise? I asked
fucking
myself
adverbs.
silently in extreme fear. So many adverbs. She could really play Mad Libs, this author, with us.
We're gonna save this for the next Mad Lib.
I put on the light from my smartphone and walked in the direction of the noise. Delving deeper into a forest-like area beside the road, I was surrounded by tall trees and short grasses. The noise became more pronounced as I walked further into the forest. I could hear the sounds of footsteps from behind and felt like I was being followed.
Yeah, don't walk into a forest, dummy.
Is this
In the
the
dark.
girl from Her Soul to Take?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's possible. I trembled and dropped my phone suddenly as I quickly turned around to exit the forest. Someone's following me, I whispered
No
to
shit.
myself as I ran my way out of the forest. I was on the verge of opening my car door when the same wolfmen attacked. I
No
shivered
way.
in fear as they approached me furiously. They've shifted into humans, but retained their gigantic and large stacks of muscles. I could still see tufts of fur on some parts of their bodies, with large scratches on their faces and limbs. The moonlit night is over, and they're gradually transforming into their human form. They looked much calmer this time, even though their faces looked aggressive. They might be the alpha monsters behind the recent atrocities. I only hope my curiosity won't lead me into trouble. They could recognize me immediately. I don't know what's happening, to be honest.
I don't think she
Oh,
knows.
Please read the next sentence.
Okay. They could recognize me immediately and gushed over my smell and sexy body.
Fucking hate that
What
word.
the fuck does that mean? They felt I'm the most fertile human in the city and shouldn't be left without a mate. None of them is willing to let me go, even though they agreed to share me this time. Get her all
Something
ready,
happened last
Lucan.
time.
I have no idea. There was a last time, apparently. Okay, wait. Get her all ready, Lucan. Darian yelled furiously as he ordered
How
one
does
of the
she know his name's
wolfmen.
Darian?
Who knows? As he ordered one of the wolfmen to seize me and carried me on his arms.
On?
Sarah, didn't you know that they're all wearing "Hello, my name is" name tags?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They are. Yeah.
They just came from like a Wolf's Anonymous meeting.
I mean, for real, I can't believe you missed that integral part of the story.
They're wearing adverbs to
Fertile
tell
women
me.
are friends, not food.
Oh my god.
Okay. Lucan carried me like a little baby on his large, muscular arms as they ventured out of the neighborhood and into the dark forest. I thought we were
I
already
thought we
in
were
the
in
forest.
the dark forest.
No, we left the dark forest and ran back to the car, you guys. I can't believe you
Oh,
weren't listening.
Oh my god, I'm so
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
hardcore parkouring back and forth. It's fine.
They really are.
The sun was beginning to rise, and everyone was still indoors. I was entranced by their strength and agility as they marched into a strange camp deep within the wilderness.
No, don't go
They
there. Don't
live-
do that.
They live in a single pack with some other humans, probably captured by some of these wolfmen. They might have been bred and infected with a feral syndrome. We s-
Is that my problem?
Is that us?
Yeah, Feral Fridays. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
We settled in a makeshift hut with a small wooden bed at the far right corner of the interior. Lucan dropped me on the bed, close to the hard walls, and grinned at me friendly?
All right.
I wasn't so sure if I should smile back at him or not, but his face shimmered like a rising sun as he revealed a part of his shiny white teeth. The wolfmen agreed to lock me up in the hut until they made their choice of who could breed me. They looked exactly hot on the same scale. I won't mind having them all. I was captivated by their large pile of muscles around their bodies right from the beginning, even though they looked extremely scary.
How did muscles pile?
You know, like pancakes.
I was thinking of like the kids stack cups.
Oh, yeah.
They put
Yeah,
them
yeah,
under
yeah.
your shirt.
My
Oh
God.
my god.
How I attracted 3 giant hot wolfmen into my mansion with my glaring smell was still a mystery to me.
All I hear is this bitch stinky.
But she's
Those
rich.
pheromones. Yeah.
Their compliment and the romantic war to breed me hit differently each time I think about them. It makes me smile and blush unconsciously each time I think about it. That's a little repetitive. I rolled my little ass out of bed slowly and strolled around the hut.
Okay. Seems unnecessary.
The roof entailed layers of overlapping branches, woven with thick strands as dried grass and leaves. A small fireplace rests at the center, emitting a gentle warmth and faint scent of burning wood, bringing forth a cozy ambience on a soothing night.
How is this night
door-
soothing?
I was gonna say, how is it still nighttime? It's been nighttime for like,
Yeah, wasn't the sun rising?
yeah.
The
The
door
moon was
unlocked
gone.
and creaked after a little while as I turned around quickly in fear. I stuck my eyes at the entrance, anxious to see who was behind the door. I thought I read that wrong, but I
Nope.
didn't.
You
Nope.
didn't.
I saw the thick, large foot of Logan sneaking into the room like a wild predator. I
You know what
became
they say.
carried away, staring at his large, bare, muscular chest as he approached me slowly. I can't concentrate, Elowen.
Oh,
Your
she
smell
has a
is
name.
driving me crazy. She has a name. Lucan
How did he know
confessed
it?
as he's... Who knows?
He saw her mail in her mansion.
Oh,
He was like,
Oh,
man, your
okay.
water bill's overdue.
That makes sense. While she was hiding in the bathroom, they were like,
Yeah.
let me go check what her name is.
Yeah, like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and kidnap you so you don't have to pay this water bill.
Wait, but seriously. I can't concentrate, Elowen. Your smell is driving me crazy, Lucan confessed as he stood tall in front of me like a tree. Is it why you're here? I whispered in a sexy voice, staring at his broad and muscular shoulders. The fuck?
How do you whisper in a sexy voice?
Is that
Why
I
don't
don't
you
know, but
try,
I did not
Sarah?
do that.
Can you try it for us, please?
I can't wrap my brain around it. Because a whisper is like,
So,
hey guys.
what's stirring your cauldron?
Okay.
Oh, Ivy nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, that's
that
more
worked.
sensual. But I'll take it. Oh god. All right. Let's talk. Oh Jesus. Here we go. You have an irresistible smell that could drive any wolfman crazy in a minute. It's a sign you're still fertile as hell, Lucan added in a calm voice as he couldn't get his eyes off me. My heart skipped for a second the moment I heard Lucan's thunderous voice spraying into my ears. I became a bit speechless and completely lost in fantasy. I'm the perfect
we've
wolfman
been there for a
you,
while.
baby. Oh wow. Lucan stroked my hair gradually as he awaited my response to his plea. Why do you think you deserve to breed me, hottie? I asked in a flirty voice as I became a little nervous. You'll never know until you try, Lucan responded in a
What?
quiet voice as his warm breath caressed the skin of my shoulder gradually.
Gradually, because that needed a fucking adverb.
What?
The smell of his pheromones hit my nose suddenly as I inhaled further and took a deep breath. Lucan's emissions of pheromones showed how ready he was to knot me.
No.
I'm not sure.
California's going to start tracking those emissions next.
I'm not sure how big it is until it starts swelling and growing larger. Is his penis out? Like,
Yeah.
has it been out this whole time?
Is he naked?
I don't.
I
well,
assume
it's
they
like
were
he had
wearing
a naked
pants.
chest. His
I
I-
guess.
maybe.
Or
At no
adverbs.
point has it been mentioned that he has taken any clothes off whatsoever.
Well, she could see his chest when he walked in.
Okay,
I
I
mean-
was
yeah.
expecting pants.
I was expecting pants.
But they're gone, apparently.
All right, well, we're going to talk about his penis. Here we go. My breath seized for a few seconds the moment I sighted his fat bulge in between his legs. Sexy.
Who wrote this?
It kept on growing bigger and bigger, and I thought it was never going to stop. That's impossible. I nodded my head gently in response. What? as I could no longer wait to be bred by Lucan. My panties were heavily wet, and my eyes were getting shrunken in anticipation of Lucan's knot. What?
Does she mean that her pupils were dilated?
I think so.
Baby.
Or is she like squinting?
Oh no.
I think she's squinting. I
I
think
think
it was
she's
she's
shrunk.
squinting.
Like eyes
Oh.
narrowed, I guess. I don't know.
But wouldn't you, like, I don't know, if I saw a penis that was continually getting larger, I think I'd be doing this instead of...
I think I'd be running away.
I don't think I'd
I-
be squinting.
I just want to imagine. I want to act out this next sentence.
Oh.
First of all, this word is incorrect. I'm sure he sneaked out of his friend's hut to flaunt his hot body at me. He swung his large arms on my little tiny curves and drew me a bit closer to himself. He let out a huge sigh of relief and made me rest my head on his large chest.
Wow.
Baby.
Wow.
What a I don't even know.
So she's got a little ass and little tiny curves.
Mm-hmm.
Was this written by AI?
It had to have
Maybe.
been. Like,
Yeah.
or like the base of it was written by an illiterate person and they ran it through AI. Like,
I'm so confused.
yeah, it's rough.
Well, they definitely did not
Or-
use a dictionary.
Maybe it was written in a different language and then they just converted it.
That's
to
kind of the
English.
vibe I'm getting. Is like maybe it's not
It's-
English as a first language.
Maybe that's it. I guess the what was it? Shrunken eyes kind of make me think. Well, maybe
And the
this, yeah,
velvet.
maybe this was translated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's
Okay.
keep going.
Chapter 3. Knotted in a makeshift hut.
Oh, it's happening.
He kissed me on my forehead as I closed my eyes immediately. I knew he was going to drop down to my sexy, gorgeous lips. My eyes were still closed when I felt his large, sexy lips placing his lips on mine. I opened. God damn it. This is the first time you've made me crack.
We didn't even say
His
anything.
lips placed his lips on my lips.
On my
Okay.
lips. Sexy lips.
Okay.
I opened my mouth a bit wide and allowed the wolfman to submerge his sexy lips in
Sexy
mine.
lips.
Wait. Okay.
That's 3 sexy
Hey,
lips
guys,
in 2
take-
sentences.
Okay, just real quick, take a minute and go get your favorite beverage. We're gonna take a shot every time she says lips. Jesus
Oh my
Christ. He breathed loudly with the sound of his heartbeat hitting like a drum. He held my face a little firmly, as his large, warm palms rested on my cheeks. He pulled back after a few seconds as we locked eyes. "You taste yum, the sweetest I've ever had." Lucan chuckled, staring at my pretty lips.
Lips, drink.
God damn it. I smiled back at him as I glanced down at the bulge of his knot again. I gasped a bit loudly, sticking my eyes on his knot. Could this ever stop growing? I asked myself quietly in amazement. I gasped a little loudly as my anxiety spread around my nerves. I swung my sexy thighs against his hard bulge, and it felt harder than a rock. Oh my gosh. It was way beyond my expectations. I wasn't so sure if he could fill me up with his mighty knot, but I was so anxious to try. A feel of his warm body and hot lips made me wet my panties already without even knowing. His unique smell and packs of muscles turned me on way faster than I expected. He wrapped his large arms around my sexy little hips and dragged me closer to himself. My cute boobies massaged his hot...
Not boobies.
I've said sexy too much. Use a different word. Cute.
My cute boobies massaged his hot abs gradually and rested on his bare body. He stroked my hair slowly again and pulled off my blouse. The wind caressed my naked body. When did she lose her pants? Gently from the little openings in the wooden walls. I unbuckled my bra and threw my shimmery gold hair a little backward.
A little backward.
Lucan flung his wide, long fingers on my sexy boobs and felt the nip with his tongue.
Upgraded from cute to sexy.
Okay.
How do you fling your wide, long fingers on sexy boobs? Is it like...
I just want to say I hate this.
It's great though.
I love this.
Everyone, take it away.
I sighed and moaned a little loudly as Lucan's hand traveled beneath my skirt and pulled it down gently.
I thought she was naked.
Naked.
Well, she wasn't.
She was.
The wind only hit above the navel, apparently. His hands rubbed against the little shaved hairs underneath my panties as he dipped his middle finger completely inside.
What?
Little shaved hairs.
Little shaved hairs. All right. My breath seized for a few seconds as I gasped at the sudden onset of intense pleasure.
That was quick.
Yeah. I drew myself a bit backward as we both fell on the bed like dead trees.
Sexy.
Wow.
We giggled a little as Lucan stripped me off, exposing my little naked butts on the bed. What?
More than one butt?
More.
See, one butt was naked and the other butt had a skirt on it. That was what was happening.
Yummy. Lucan chuckled after throwing the same finger into his mouth. Why did he throw it?
Never safe.
Maybe it is
Yummy.
translated.
He pulled down his pants hastily and flung his huge bare knot in the air. What the hell?
Is he helicoptering?
How did he get pants? He wasn't wearing pants earlier.
How is he flinging his bare knot in the air?
Very carefully.
I noticed the sudden buildup of anxiety in his face and crawled on his thick, muscular thighs. I fixed my gaze at Lucan's knot as he remained laid back and awaited a touch of my cupcake.
What?
Not the cupcake.
What does that even mean?
Well, sometimes you call it a muffin, so I guess here we're calling it a cupcake.
Oh, it's amazing.
At least it's not cookie.
I
It's not
cannot
cookie.
wait to tell this to my husband later.
Oh, cannot wait.
Yeah.
No worries, cutie. You're fine, Lucan said as he noticed the anxious look on my face. I know it's your first time. You're going to enjoy every bit of me, Lucan assured as he moved to fill me up with his mighty knot.
How does he know all this?
Right?
I guess they can smell the virginity? I don't know. Like, I crawled in between his thighs and brushed my naked boobs on his hot abs again.
Why?
I lied.
Why are you doing that? That's weird.
I lied
This whole
face
thing is weird.
I lay face down on his large body with my little butt cheeks facing the roof. Why are we talking about her butt cheeks being little again? This is so strange.
I think they mean like she's petite.
Maybe. It's just, oh god.
She's got no ass.
Lucan shoved his fat, hard knot inside me suddenly from behind. All of a sudden
How
he was
did he
behind.
get behind her?
As I closed my
I
eyes.
thought she was on top of him.
Wow. All right, Lucan shoved his fat, hard knot inside me suddenly from behind as I closed my eyes tightly in reflex. I felt it drilling me it can't be gradually and suddenly at the same time.
It can. It can.
I felt it drilling me gradually, and I completely became breathless. Sweat drooled from the skin of my face and armpits. What?
No.
As Lucan's snot began to heat me up like a burning candle.
Hard no.
That sounds like an STD.
Yeah.
I think she has rabies.
Wolfman.
He wrapped his large arms over my sexy body and continued shoving his knot inside me nonstop. I sighed and moaned heavily as I struggled to keep calm. Lucan's knot kept thrusting deeper and deeper, and I almost froze up. I thought he was going to get stuck at some point, even though I was determined to take everything.
Isn't that the point?
Right? He buried his knot inside me after a short while and began ravaging me like his life depended on it. Do you feel good? He whispered in my ear as his knot almost blew me up in pleasure. I can't feel
No, you
myself,
ain't.
baby. Ugh, I can't explain it. A drop of tears rolled down my cheek as Lucan locked his knot in me after a while. My hips moved slowly as he shot a thick river of load inside me. He locked his knot in me and kept me knotted for a little while. I could hear the sound of his breath as he growled and panted repeatedly like a horse. Oh my
What?
God.
Of course. Okay, so knot is just the word for dick in this story.
Apparently.
Think
That's
so.
just a dick. Not the
Also-
actual knot.
In
Ugh.
my experience, if they're asking if it feels good,
No.
you know you're
doesn't.
going down the wrong path.
The answer is no.
That was a... oh
You
boy.
gotta ask. We got problems.
Also,
Oh
you
my
just
gosh.
fingered her one time and then you just shoved it in?
From behind.
Gradually.
Not even,
Sounds
no
about right.
oral, nothing?
No?
No. What's foreplay?
The pheromones.
We don't know that. Yeah. That's all
Foreplay
that
was
she
hiding in the
needed.
bathroom.
Yeah.
It's the foreplay
They left
in the room with
the
us.
foreplay stayed at the mini
Oh.
mansion, apparently.
Okay. Chapter 4. Almost caught in the act. A sudden noise erupted from the door as Lucan suspected Darian and Alaric to be behind it. Oh my gosh, it's Darian.
Oh my gosh.
Get off my body now. Lucan pulled his long, large knot out of me and pushed my little ass off his body quickly. He forced his mighty body under the bed and hid underneath like a criminal. Darian and Alaric barged into the room afterward and were a bit shocked to find me lying naked on the bed. There are still little droplets of Lucan's fluids on my thighs as I covered them up quickly with my blouse.
Where did the blouse come from?
No clue. They were convinced Lucan was in the room with me, as they could
He
smell
was.
his
Well, he
presence.
is.
Where is Lucan? Darian asked in a deep, thunderous voice. I have no idea where he is, I responded frankly, putting out a straight face. But we can smell him here. Alaric frowned up his face as he reacted in disbelief. Search the room now, Alaric, Darian commanded as Alaric swung into action immediately. He searched everywhere in the room except underneath the bed.
Oh, come
I
on.
let out a huge sigh of relief as the search ended without being caught. I'm not sure I'll be spared if caught lying to these horrible wolfmen. Darian didn't entirely believe me as he asked Alaric to pick me up for scrutiny. They're going to examine me to see if I was marked or claimed by any wolfman in their absence. I just hope I won't get caught by this.
But how does she know that, like, this is a bad thing that
Right?
she had sex with Lucan? This is the first I'm hearing that was not the right thing to do.
It wasn't allowed. Also, like, he's hiding under the bed, really? This giant wolf man?
Nobody found him.
But nobody looked
Right?
in the
They
most obvious
searched the
place.
room and nobody checked under the bed.
Also,
Yeah.
they have don't they have wolf instincts? Like, use your nose.
Yeah, I mean, they said they could smell him, so why didn't they, like...
Like,
Work
you're
a little
not
harder.
get it like getting warmer as you get closer to the bed.
Right, like snip them out.
Right?
Wait,
Idiots.
it's gonna get more confusing.
It
Check
is.
this out.
It is.
I realized I was being marked by Lucan
What?
when I felt a little pain around my hips.
What?
He tried to claim me for himself and even get me pregnant by locking his knot inside me for a longer time.
What?
I quickly pulled on my panties and skirt, covering the weird mark left on my hips by Lucan. The mark will leave a warning for other monsters that may want to breed me. It signified I'd been bred and claimed by another wolfman. When did he mark me?
Is he doing
When
this
did
while
that happen?
while he's under the bed?
How?
Like, what?
I put my blouse back on as Alaric seized my hand and picked me up in his muscular arms. He was staring at my pretty face and sexy body as he exited the hut and headed to a private makeshift hut.
Okay.
The sun was already setting, and darkness was on the verge of taking over the day.
Wasn't it just morning?
They spent the whole day fucking, apparently.
Yeah. No one checked
Time
on
is
them.
real.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Several werewolves and their captors. Captors?
What?
I think they meant captives.
Yep.
Yeah. Several werewolves and their captors are returning to their various abodes in haste, avoiding the coming of the moonlit night. The room is a bit dark and much smaller than the previous room. Darian ordered Alaric to scrutinize me as he pulled away the blouse around my neck and shoulder blades. They both stood in front of me, staring at my smooth, sexy skin as they looked out for any prominent markings on my skin. Alaric couldn't get his eyes off of me the moment he stared at my shimmering, sexy skin. How many times did I just say sexy skin?
A lot.
It also just called Alaric a she,
Mhm.
and then in the next sentence,
Oh,
he's back to
Yeah, you're
being a
right.
he.
nobody checked
Mhm.
this.
It's
Nobody
fine.
proofread.
It's fine.
Gender fluid.
I'll have to take off your skirt to scrutinize you further, Alaric asked,
What?
as he couldn't wait to take a closer look at my sexy body.
Sexy.
Do it, I responded up front, gazing at the muscular chest and abs of the two wolfmen. They are quite hotter and more muscularly built than
Oh my
Lucan.
gosh, I thought they were
Wow.
of equal measure beforehand.
They were of equal hotness beforehand.
Are we sure this
Well.
isn't Goldilocks?
Something.
He pulled down my skirt slowly and revealed my bare hips and panties. He swung his head in between my thighs and saw the thin markings on my hip from Lucan. He drew my pretty short skirt back on and covered up the markings quickly. He knew I wasn't telling the truth, but decided to save me from Darian's torment. She's not bred yet, Darian. She's intact. Can they not smell this? Alaric lied as he put on a straight face. Darian grinned excitedly when he was told I wasn't marked. He wanted to claim me only for himself. and was doing everything possible to achieve that. He ordered Alaric to pick me up again as they were set to return me to my previous hut. The moonlit
What?
night suddenly overshadowed us as we stepped out of the unusual hut. The full moon shone brightly at us as Alaric dropped me on the ground to react to the presence of the full moon. Their muscles developed further as the cheekbones became sharper. Huh?
Okay,
What?
wait. So they made her put on clothes so they could carry her to another hut so they could make her take off her clothes so she could look at her naked body so she could then put on her clothes and walk her back to her original hut. What?
Yes, but
Yeah, what's
on the way
confusing about
back,
that?
the full moon was too distracting.
Solid,
Oh.
solid man logic here.
Yeah. Literally.
Oh,
what?
okay. That's what happened. So Alaric dropped her because he was like, holy shit, the full moon. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I got from that
Mhm.
last sentence that I struggled
Yeah.
to read. They
Wow.
are like me. They see the moon outside and go, ooh,
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
What a time.
Okay. All right. Darian and Alaric shifted into a beast-looking werewolf as they both agreed to not inbreed me before the disappearance of the full moon. What a sexy, great body you have, Alaric complimented me as he growled and gushed over my sexy body repeatedly. I sat on the clean
what's up with
gravel.
using gushed?
Ugh. I sat on the clean gravel, staring at the two monstrous creatures in front of me. Their muscles became more enhanced and developed, with glowing silver furs growing rapidly around their bodies. Their cheekbones sharpened, again, as their predatory eyes glared at me intensively. You have the prettiest face I've ever seen, Darian howled softly. You have the prettiest face I've ever seen, Darian howled softly as he crawled toward me. The smell of his pheromones awakened my arousal to the bone as I yearned dearly for his touch. Your smell is driving me nuts. How do you smell this great? I whispered in Darian's ear immediately. I felt his warm... What? I whispered in Darian's ear immediately. I felt his warm presence behind me. The wild forest was cold and empty, as most packs had gone hunting. I could feel the gentle touch of the wind caressing my skin slowly. Alaric drew closer to us as he felt the same way as Darian. He's been staring at Darian, flirting with me from afar, and didn't want to be left out. His body was covered with lighter gray fur, well-developed muscles, and agility.
How is a body covered in agility? How do you
Maybe-
see agility?
You're impossibly fast. Chapter 5. That's all I can think of. Chapter 5. Knotted by two wolfmen in the cold gravels.
Ew. That sounds awful.
It does sound just not good.
Unsanitary.
Just bad. I turned my eyes to the two mighty wolfmen and begged to be bred already. Darian pulled down my skirt and panties fiercely as he shoved his head in between my thighs. I took a deep breath to control my anxiety as Darian's snout-like nose sniffed and massaged me inside. Ugh.
Ew.
Are we
Ugh.
getting like towards bestiality here?
A
I
little
think we
bit.
might be.
A little bit.
So
There's-
did
It's
they
only-
shift?
Yeah.
I mean, no. It's only bestiality if they can't consent.
Okay,
They-
fair enough.
And they're still talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're still speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
fair enough.
Okay. This is awkward. Their huge knots sprouted rapidly into the air as they hung on their pelvis like the bark of a fresh plant.
What?
What?
That's a whole bunch of words.
Wow.
Darian sat in between my sexy, slim legs and dropped my thighs on his large, muscular laps. His thrust almost blew my mind as I groaned and moaned a bit loudly. Alaric couldn't wait to hump his knot in me as he bent over and tried to slide in from behind. I wasn't sure if two could feel me, but I was ready to risk it.
I think they meant Phil.
Right?
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
we're almost done. We're almost done.
Okay. Yeah.
Ivy, bring us home.
Alaric was already halfway gone when Darian noticed the markings around my hip. He took a closer look at it and became extremely infuriated. "Have you been claimed?" he yelled angrily. "Yeah, she's mine." Lucan suddenly appeared as he walked boldly into the scene. How dare you betray your pack?" Darian yelled at Lucan furiously as he prepared himself for a fight. "Has he exited her yet?"
No. He's still doing this, and she's like straight on his dick.
"She's mine, and you have no right to claim her anymore," Lucan responded as he faced off with Darian.
Oh,
They
okay.
threw their sharp, long claws at themselves, and they fell out immediately.
What?
Alaric picked me up quickly and ran into the thick forest. Darian and Lucan immediately figured out that I was being taken by Alaric and chased him furiously. "Come back here, you traitor!" Darian yelled at the top of his voice as they continued chasing us into the wild, dark forest. Alaric was a more agile and faster wolfman as they lost sight of him after a short while. I thought Alaric was going to abduct me and have me for himself, but I was wrong. I realized he was the kindest of the three wolfmen and was always willing to help me escape. He brought me back to the very point where I was taken and urged me to stay safe. "I'll miss you, Alaric." Tears filled up my eyes as I watched him walk away. My curiosity has led me to a weird adventure mixed with risks, fun, and pain.
What?
What?
The end.
What?
What about Darian?
That was very quick Stockholm syndrome. Just
So
saying,
quick.
if you're already crying because
So
they're letting
Okay,
you go.
but there was no reverse harem. There was no alpha,
No.
beta, omega. Like none of
There
those
was
things.
no beta.
No. There was technically there was no dick in this either. It was just
knots.
knots
Just
everywhere. Knots everywhere.
What? And like, if they're a pack and they're hunting for women together, why are they like, "No, she's mine. No, she's mine. How dare you? She's
Right.
mine." Like, I thought they
I
were
don't think
in
the
this
author
together.
Understands. The author does not understand a megaverse whatsoever.
The
No.
author
No,
doesn't understand
it-
a lot.
It's like when they just include a bunch of tags in something so that
Right.
it just
It
like
shows up in search.
gives. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Also, I think I've read better shit on Literotica.
Wow, that
oh,
was.
absolutely.
Wow.
Oh,
This
that
was
great.
something. It was something.
This was book
That-
one, by the way.
Ivy?
There is a book two.
Oh yes,
Is there
Great.
really?
yes.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know it says book one, but
I mean, there's all the way up to book 5 at least.
I bet that she's gonna get pregnant
Book 5
by.
is
There's
not
5?
auctioned to the alpha pack.
Wow.
And there is a
Wow.
very what looks to be some appropriation happening because the
Oh no.
FMC in the cover is wearing a Native American headdress
Oh.
and it's definitely
Oh.
white.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't like that.
Don't like that at all.
No.
yeah,
So-
no, no,
No.
thanks.
I was gonna say, Ivy, I especially appreciated your reading.
Yes, your voices
Yeah.
were
Yes.
spot on.
You really brought out everything we needed in this story. Thank you
I really thought
for your
that
service.
Lucan especially really needed that deep characterization.
He did. You know, it really just brought a whole other dimension to this podcast today, and we really couldn't have done it without you. So, thank you.
Yes.
Thank
It
you.
was my first live read. I've actually,
What?
strangely enough, missed all of the other
Oh
ones.
my
Really?
gosh.
So, yeah, some random ass fucking coincidence. So
Huh.
this was actually my first. So
Oh,
thank you for
wow.
reading my first.
Never
Amazing.
not be here
love
for a
it.
live read again.
Yeah, please never miss one again.
Yeah.
Your voice, amazing.
Wow, that
Love
was
it.
that
Love it.
was truly
Perfection.
something.
Yes.
That's everything I had hoped it would
Yeah.
be.
I don't
Perfect.
think we can even really say anything else. I think
Yeah,
this is just our goodbye moment.
that's just what we
Yeah.
The end
have
of
to
the
leave
season.
it at.
Yep. We'll see you all.
You're
In
welcome.
a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Thank you so much for listening to the Feral Friday podcast. Join us every Friday for unhinged shenanigans, books, games, and more. You can find us on Instagram at Feral Friday Pod. Did you know we have a website? Visit us at www.feralfridaypod.com. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like us to cover a particular book or series, please send us an email at bferal@feralfridaypod.com. Happy reading!
Feel Friday.